We wrote the first one. I think we started researching it in 2002 or 3 maybe, and then we put it on 205, 206. It was a story that came to me from a local man, Jerry Harding, on 2001, and then Ian's had experience as well in his family with that background as well. So yeah.
So that gave us kind of start to. We didn't immediately start thinking of it as being anything other than a single play that we were doing there, but it gave us a chance to start at the beginning of the 20th century with these children who were shipped over from England to North America, to Canada, without any real protection. So some were very happy here, and others got really badly treated. And it seemed like a really interesting theme to talk about in theatre, where theatre depends on conflict and contradiction and argument and unresolvable problems at times that people have. And so we've been following those two characters who were the center of the Barnardo Children play all the way through to now in this play it's the 1950s.
My role is Walter, and I am one of the Barnardo boys, one of the home children, I guess they were called, orphans that were shipped over from England, and a lot of them joined families that had farms, and at this point Walter is in his 50s, and he's lost his wife and he lives with his 2 children, and he decides that he needs some help, and so he puts out an ad for a housekeeper, and that's when this young woman with big town ideas comes and takes the job and causes all sorts of upheaval in the town with her modern ideas, and everyone's quite taken with her, and that character is played by Julia here.
I am, as Jay mentioned, playing the housekeeper in The Housekeeper. My name is Eleanor Gwynn, and Eleanor has come from a bit of an interesting past, and she's arrived in Millbrook hoping to start sort of anew. And as Jay has mentioned, she is a bit of a free thinker and is hoping to sort of use this place as a way to sort of explore those ideas that she has and see if they'll be accepted and see if she'll be accepted for those things. But of course, there are some obstacles that come in the way of someone who's trying to bring in new ideas, as is often quite true.
Hello, Ruth. I'm sorry, I wasn't being rude. It's just I get so absorbed. I'm terrified that if I stop in the middle when I'm writing, I'll lose my way completely.
You write?
Yes.
But when we first met, you didn't say, what are you writing?
A novel.
A novel?
Oh my God, the fish pie. I made one especially for you.
A fish pie?
I play the role of Ruth, which is Walter's daughter. So if you've seen any of the other Barnardo shows, you'll know Walter. In the last show, Carmel, Ruth was in there, but she was much younger. Now, fast forward, it's the 1950s, and I'm grown. And essentially, Ruth, her character, she has now moved away to Peterborough for a new job. She works for the Peterborough Examiner. And her whole life, her mom died in the last show. And so she had to grow up taking care of her father and her brother. And so that's what her family was used to. So in this show, I've moved away for a new job. And I come back every 2 weeks. But my family now has to adapt to me not being there all the time.
Have you heard what's going on in Millbrook? The druggist was seen walking home with Pearl Jones. That's right. I know, and her with that husband and 3 little ones.
The role that I'm playing is Anthea. She is a next-door neighbor, a middle-aged woman who knows everything that's happening in town and will share that with you if you are not up to date. She gathers a lot of information and she shares a lot of information. Sometimes that's welcome and sometimes it isn't.
It's about this woman coming from a different place to Millbrook and trying to establish herself here. And it's a romance. It's also a bit of a mystery. So romantic mystery would be the genre maybe. And I think there's lots of really fun characters in it that have been inspired sometimes by real people, sometimes just by stories.
It's exciting to write, whether you're doing it on your own or with somebody else. It's difficult to find somebody that you're really compatible with. And we seem to have worked out a very compatible way of doing this, while at the same time being very different in our approaches to a lot of different things. But we share a lot of similar interests too, and that probably keeps us going, as well as just the excitement of seeing a play come together. And that's one of the interesting things about, I've been coming 2 or 3 days a week to watch the rehearsals, and it's one of the really exciting periods is that period where it's beginning to take shape, and it's a kind of precarious feeling. Is it going to work? Isn't it going to work? And
they want to get off the ground with this thing, and the actors are starting to take ownership of scenes and start doing things and becoming the characters. It's pretty exciting.
Yes, it's exciting to see that when you suddenly hear a line coming out of somebody's mouth, and it's coming out like the character that they're playing.
Yeah, and then it becomes their show.
I think The Housekeeper has some exciting moments, some moments of intense passion, but also some really beautiful moments of connection, family, laughter, some really big and interesting characters and funny characters.
A little bit of music as well.
Music, a little bit of dancing, a little bit of fighting, maybe.
Yeah, high stakes,
high
drama.
High drama.
We're working hard to make it something that everyone's going to enjoy.
Absolutely.
The Housekeeper is a romance mystery. There's so much to uncover with the show. I think it's really cool because the show follows Eleanor, but as an audience, you don't fully know who she is either. So you're really following her and following the other characters' journeys too.
It's a human story. There's a lot of love, there's a lot of heart, there's a lot of tragedy. It's just like real life. And I think that they'll see characters who they recognize both in themselves and in their neighborhoods. So it feels like a real local story, local to everywhere in the world, really.